So brothers and sisters, in the last video, if you are to remember, we looked at the uh, average, average A, and average if. So in today's video, we are going to look on how to calculate the average ifs. We're going to look on how to deal with average ifs. Average ifs. This is what we're going to be looking at. So how do we calculate this? What is it all about? So first and foremost, of course, you need to have a worksheet which is open. So the average if function is a type of Excel function which is used for calculating the average of a range of cells when a certain criteria are met. So this function allows you to specify multiple criteria. So remember in the last video when we are calculating or when we are dealing with average if, of course we said a certain criteria must be met. But in this case where we use average ifs with an S at the end, we have to use what we call multiple criteria for the cell that you want to include in your calculation. And we're going to see how that one is done. I have a sample of values here. The values here indicate I have, these are students, and this is the name of the room, and then this is the grade, and then this is the test score. So these students sat for a test from different rooms, and then they scored accordingly, and this is how they were graded. The names include, the students include Alex, Balaka, Charles, David, Elias, Francis, George, Helen, Isaac, Jane, and Kerry. And this is how they scored. So we are going to use multiple criteria to find the average of each and every student if a certain criteria is met. So here is what we're going to do. We're going to select one of the cell where the formula will be input. And I can use this, maybe I say average. I can use this as an outcome or the result of the formula. So here I'm going to say, I'm going to expand this. I'm going to say equal sign. I'm going to say is equal sign. If average ifs. Now, after entering the name of the function open, I will have the parenthesis open, and then I'm going to put the range of the range of values. So in this case, the range of values, I'm going to get the score ranging from 34 up to 55. So what I'm going to do, I'll get the first value, which is that. Then you can press Ctrl Shift on the keyboard, then down arrow to select all the values or in that row. So from there, go ahead and put a comma. Then I'm going to say to put a criteria range 1 because this was the average range, but then I need to put a criteria. What is that criteria? So in this criteria, I'm going to see what is the average of this score within a certain grade. For example, as you can see, there are those who got a first grade, those who got second grade, third grade, fourth, fifth, and 7 up to 8 and 9. So I want a certain criteria that, for example, if certain students, say A, B, C, D, were scored or in grade 2, then I want to get the average of those students in terms of score. For example, if student A, B, C, D got the first grade, what is the average of their score? That's what I mean. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the score, the range of the score, the criteria range, which is starting from value as grade 1. Then I put the range of course. Put the range of course. This is going to be up to, I can drag and select all that. Then from there, I go ahead and put a comma. Now, after putting a comma, now you can see that first of all, I've put the range. I've got the range. No, this is not there. Yeah, like that. I've got the range of the score. After that, which is now the average range, like that's the range of the values I want to get the average. Then after I went ahead and got the range of the criteria, that's now the criteria, like if certain students, if student, for example, I can say I have student Baraka, I have Jen and Kerry, they all got the second grade. So I want to get the average of these students who got second grade. So now that's why I got the range, I mean the criteria range. So after that, I'm going to put the grade. What is that grade that I want to target? So I want to target grade 2. Then after that, go ahead and close the bracket. Now this function will first of all scan all the values within that. First, check the range of the value of the average. Oh, this is the range where you want me to pick the numbers that I want to calculate the average. After that, then they will ask you, which criteria, which criteria do you want me to get the average of students who go second grade, first grade, third grade? So in this case, I'll first put the range of all the grade so that my algorithm, my function will pick from that grade. After that, I'll now put the grade, my target grade, which is grade 2. Then when I'm done that, I'll just go ahead and say, press enter, and then you see now I have 52.33 recurring. That's now the average of all the students who got second grade from the certain test score. If I'm to prove my answer, I can say, can go and use the normal average function, say average. Then I see which I want to get average for Baraka, which is 63. I put comma, I get average for Jen, 45, comma, I put the average for the mark for Kerry. Then after that, go ahead and close the bracket, press enter. As you can see, I get the exact answer or the exact value of the same as the one I got in between. So what about like, I want to get the average of a certain student, but these students were in a certain room, say room G, F, and so on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say like, I'm going to put here another function. I'll say equal sign average ifs. Now after that, I'll put the average range, which is the score. And that after I put a comma, then I put the grade, starting from 1, then shift to that. Then I put comma. Then in this case, I'm going to put say 2. I'm going to put 2, and then after that, I'll go ahead and put another criteria 2. So in this criteria, I'm going to put the room, the range of the room where these students were sitting this paper. So I'm going to say Control Shift down arrow, and then from there, put a comma, and then I'm going to put what exactly, which room am I targeting? So in this case, let me target say room for Charles, which is F, and that's now I'm not going to put I'm going to put the cell reference of Charles' room, which is F22. I mean D22. So I'm going to say D22 because I want to target this room. So after targeting this room, meaning I'm going my function will check all we'll check room F22. After checking, then we'll see which grade was that. It was grade 3. After checking the grade, then from there it will look at all the values which are in that grade, says at the 3 and 3, which is that. Then after that, it will go ahead and look for calculate for me the average. So after that, go ahead and close the bracket. When you're done, just go and press enter, and then you'll be able to get what? You'll be able to get 45 as the answer. So normally that's how we can really use the average ifs function when we are dealing with different values. But remember, what's more important is that when you are using average ifs, you need to use multiple criterias. Just remember, in the average if we use one criteria, but then in average ifs we use multiple criterias. That's just the difference. Otherwise, all this they help in statistics and organizing our data. I think this has really been so very, very important. And I think, guys, this has really been very important because uh, when we use this, the average, remember we have now seen 4 functions as far as average is concerned. We looked at the average, we went ahead to look at average A, we looked at average if, and then we have finally looked at average ifs. All these are used to come up with the mean that is like aiming at calculating the central tendency or average value of a set of data. And this could be the measure that provides an indication of a typical or representative of a certain value of a group of numbers. And this could help in understanding the data set by giving a rough idea of how the data behaves in general. So I want you to keep watching and subscribing to our channel so that you can get many videos with many functions and use them in your daily life. In the next video, we shall go ahead and look at other functions in Microsoft Excel and see how best we can use them to advance in our skills. Guys, thank you very much. Let's catch up in the next video.